sure how that is. I'll have to have a look at it. But give me a second. Not too bad. What's up, everybody? Can you hear me? What's up, everybody? Can you hear me? All three of you? And you? Hey, Chris, what's up, man? Hey Chris, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, this is just my weekly thing I've been doing, 8-ball. I just play 5 racks of 8-ball and basically just talk out loud what my thought process is, why I'm choosing stripes, solids, and just basically walk through the rack from my point of view and interact, with the viewers, and that way hopefully creating a bit of a community where we can chat about the game. But it was getting kind of difficult to do that. Like, I just use 2 phones, so I basically just go through 5 racks and check my comments from time to time and see if I can learn something about where I could have done a better pattern, or maybe just anything really. We just talk about pool as pool fans. So how's your road to 100? I didn't tune in today, but I see you're back at it and you're on Facebook, so that's cool. I hope that's going really well. I know you're gonna hit it. You're gonna hit it, man. Okay, so here we go. Let's rack this back up here. Start with rack number 1. And I'm breaking kind of, let's try to break straight up the center this time. See how that works out for us. This table is notoriously difficult to make a ball on. Breaking head ball. Well, got one that time. Lost the cue ball a little bit. So I always start by looking at solids first. So I'll look at the solids. Like the 7 ball's a little bit tied up, but if the 1's gone, then the 7 will go. So there's that. The 6 ball will go in both these pockets. Looks like the 8 ball is a little bit tied up here. It will go into this corner once we clear all the solids out. And it does go into this side, but it doesn't go into the corners at all. So maybe that could be something that could be worked out. I am leaning to solids here because this 5 ball is blocking off the 15 and the 2 ball has control of this pocket. So definitely leaning towards solids here. So I'm not even going to look at the run out for stripes because I think it's way too much work, you know. So I'm going to focus on solids this rack and see if we can develop anything here. For an opener, be really nice to be able to see the 5, but it's pretty tight. I don't think I can. Let me look from back here. Doesn't look like I can see it, so I'm leaning towards either the 6 or the 4. I kind of like the 4 because I can come into this 11, but I have to be really careful not to hit that 11 and cause myself more problems. So yeah, I see you are streaming on multiple platforms. Well, you'll get that worked out, Chris, I know, because you're a smart computer guy. So you'll get that sorted out. Does it cost a fee? I've heard it costs a fee to stream to both Facebook and YouTube at the same time. Is that true? Does it cost something to do that, to be able to do that? I'm going to play this 4 and try to nudge this 11 ball here. That worked out well, but I was worried about tying up that 2. And looks like we have tied that up slightly. So now what? Well, this 6 is a great breakout ball to use to get to the 11. I know that and Chris knows that from us playing straight pool all the time. Another thing I could do is I could potentially get on this side of the 6 and play it off the rail off the 2, or just off the 2 to kind of bounce the 2 out into the open. Problem is, I'm stuck. I can only see the 6 and the 2 ball here. So, I'm not sure what to play. What do you guys do here? What's the plan? What should I do? Let me see if I can. If I get as close to this 11 as possible, I don't think I can cut the 2. So the only shot I see is the 6. But I think I see a little bit of a plan that I can do here. I see a plan. Do you guys see a plan? I see a plan here. A backup plan that I can do to get to that 2 ball. Oh, restream, yeah. So the plan I see actually is using the 3 ball to do a triple combination onto the 2. And that's my only plan I see. Another thing I could do is actually I could bank this 6 off the rail off the 2, cross bank the 6, and potentially break out the 2. So Chris knows the system I'm using right now. It's the crisscross. I've been using it for years, and so is he. It's a very popular banking system. So you get to visualize fairly well after a number of years of doing it. So I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for the bank the bank corner, and I think that I don't think it's a double kiss. I think I'm going to be able to get the cue ball out of the way here. So let's try that. Oh, I wasn't able to get it out of the way. Okay, so now we're stripes here. And how do you win this game if you're stripes? Well, if I'm stripes and I'm playing this game, I know this 11 is tied up. I have a few offensive moves I can play, and I have a few defensive moves I can play here. Offensively, I can play down here and play for a bank on the 11. Defensively, I can play down here and I could play for a combo and try to freeze the cue ball to the 6, you know, and taking over this pocket with my stripe and playing a safety, which might be a good shot for a lower division player to do. If you have a tough table, it's always good to try to keep control of the table, you know. This is my first rack, first couple shots. I haven't played since Saturday, so those are my excuses for today. And we're going to go with that. So let's see here. What do I want to do? Do I want to try to run out, or should I try to play a safety? Huh. This is tough. I'm going to try for the safety here. I'm going to try to make the 2 and freeze the cue ball to the back of the 6 for the stripes, or for the solids to shoot next. And now I put the person under pressure. I kept the 11 ball down in this area. I've left a really difficult combination here for the solids, but it's very difficult now for solids to, aside from that combo, to get back into this game. So solids here has a decision. And for me, if I'm solids here, I'm going to take on this combo because it's risk versus reward. I don't see a place where I can potentially play safe. So the reason why I go for it is because I think I'm still tying up this corner. My 1 ball is still kind of blocking the 13 ball. And I think it's kind of like a free shot, really. Obviously in the higher divisions, if I miss this combo, I'd probably lose. But, you know, if you're in the middle divisions, if you're, say, a level 4, level 5 APA player, you know, you might get back to the table. I'm not sure exactly, I'm not too up to speed on the levels of APA, but I believe little Chris is like a 7 or a 9. He's the highest level, I think. So if you were like a few levels below him, then that would be that would probably be the level where you might be playing 2 or 3 shot games of 8-ball, right? And it's a different strategy when you're playing 2 and 3 shot games. But I'm going to go for this combo. I'm going to loosen up here. And where's my cue ball going? Well, cue ball is going to go back and forth this way. What else can I do? Is there a way? Can I maybe? I might even be able to freeze behind the 6 ball, you know. So that's probably a smart shot. If I can do it, it's a really touchy shot. But if I can do it, to hit this 6 hit the rail and freeze behind. It's a very touchy shot. I'll give you guys a little tip that I learned from my friend, and it might sound a little crazy, but for this shot, I use my jump cue. It probably sounds absolutely insane. Why would you use your jump cue? Well, the reason I use the jump cue is because I'm worried about double hitting the cue ball, and the tip of the jump cue is so hard, it's really easy to just barely touch the cue ball and nestle it in there without getting a double hit. So if you've never tried that before, for these little tiny shots, take your jump cue out and actually give this a try. It really bounces off the end and you don't get a double kiss. You usually get a good result. Look at that. I've nestled right in there, and I've hooked the stripes on everything. Does that sound crazy? Has anyone else done that? Used the jump cue for that shot? Hook behind the 6. Yeah, that's right, Guy. Choke up. Guy, have you tried it with the jump cue? Try that shot with the jump cue. I'm telling you, it's amazing. Andreas and I used to do it all the time. Forget where we learned it. I'm not going to take credit for the idea, but I did learn that, and it does work amazing. It started back when I used to use a bungee jump cue. So we learned that shot in the 90s. Okay, stripes. Man, I'm in tough here for stripes. I was looking at the 1 rail, or 2 rail rather, see if I can hit this 2 railer and get the 9 in. That might be my best shot. And try to use that same crisscross method for this 2 rail kick. Alright. So I'm going to call the 9 ball here off 2 cushions. See if we can do that. It's going to come really close to the 8 ball. Oh, we got a hit. We got a hit, but we kind of sold out. Sold out here. So the toughest ball for solids is the 7 ball here. So what I'm going to try to do here is just kind of, I'm going to stun into this 13 and open up both pockets for the 7. I didn't manage to do that, I don't think, but maybe. Yeah, I did. Now the 7 goes in both pockets. So that was a good shot. I got my cue in for a new tip right now, so I'm using my old cue. It's quite a bit different than using a carbide, I'll tell you that. Once you play with carbide for a while. Carbon fiber. Carbide, what am I talking about? Well, I wasn't trying to contact the 7 there, I was trying to draw straight back. But this works, I'm going to just pop out for the 7 ball here, roll up, shoot the 6, and take the 8 into the middle. So that's the shot here. not a bad weight here. Just roll forward a little bit. I'm bridging over a ball here, which wasn't smart. So I'll just try to stop it dead. And then play the 8 into the side. There we go, rack number 1. Wasn't the best rack, but you saw we played a little bit of strategy there. We had to play a little back and forth, you know. I just do 5 racks every week, and it's been pretty fun. But I am going to have to start practicing my 10-ball game here right away because, Chris, I don't know if you've heard, but there's a Canada Open Predator tournament coming up in August, and CSI is actually doing an amateur event for that. So I'll be playing in the singles for both of those, 10-ball and 8-ball. Okay, rack number 1 is completed. See what everyone had to say. Well, I didn't go back to my old cue. It's just some getting. I actually put a pretty nasty gash in it, and I'm getting Alvin to fix it up for me. So, and I banged up the bottom of it on my pole here a few times. I should put some padding on the bottom of the pole because sometimes I hit it with the bottom of my cue. I'd love to have a perfect space to play, but this is what it is. Still working on this break shot. Gotta hit a little harder, but I'm starting to get a pretty good pop on it. Pretty decent control. Not as often as I would like. Obviously, you see, that's the danger. I hit it just off center. Now, the thing is about a player like SVB and some players, they hit it so hard that even if they do hit it off center, a lot of the time you'll see they'll drift past the side pocket and they'll hit up here. So that takes away the side from them. So you actually have to be, if you're more aggressive with it and hit it harder, you have a better chance of not scratching in the side because the cue ball will come back farther before it curves on you. So give that a go. So, okay, we got this tournament is going to be BCA, ball in hand anywhere on the table. So that's what I'm playing here when I practice. So right now I have ball in hand anywhere. And a table like this, immediately, well, I'm going to go through solids first, as usual. Immediately, my eyes go to solids, and they're like, that's awesome. Solids are wide open. Right? Except maybe the 4-ball is kind of tied up, and the 8-ball. So if I can open the 8, maybe use the 4 and open up the 8, then I got a pretty open table for solids. But another way to look at it is if I take stripes, I just have to open up the 8 and everything's pretty open for stripes as well. So I have ball in hand, so I guess the argument for solids here is that, you know, you have more to work with, you have more balls on the table to get around. Where with stripes, you'd have to get on this ball, and then get back down table, which shouldn't be a problem for an average, above average player, or average player even. Now I'm looking at this breakout if I play stripes, and I'm trying to think out my whole pattern here. If I shoot this, ball in hand, Shoot the 13 into the corner. Cue ball goes through and hits the top of the 8 ball and glances off this way. Hitting the 8 would probably stay right in this area or maybe over here. And this ball is going this way. So I'd like to not have it stop in the way here. I'd like to hit it hard enough where it got over there. And I'd like my cue ball to come out here. And I could either play for this ball, then shape on that one, or I could play for this one, then play that and that, right? Then come back up here, go 1, 2, and come back for the 8. Or, if I play low ball, I would play it probably like this. I would play the 4 ball, and I'd want to hit square into the 8, but I know from straight pool, I don't want to float in between those 2 balls. So I'd be looking to hit them with a little bit of speed and hopefully not tie up the 2 ball with that 13. And I'd be wanting to hit it pretty square, medium pace, try to get the 8 ball out just a little bit out here. And then I'd be playing for this 3 ball. I'd probably save my 2 for last. I'd play the 3 and I'd come up here and I'd want to have an angle on this 5 to come across and play the 7. 7, 1, 6, 2, 8. So I'm going to leave it in your hands, you guys. What do you think? You want to see the solids run out here, or do you want to see the stripes? You call it, or do you want me to flip a coin? I could flip a coin on this one. Four on the side and hit the, okay. Stripes or solids? First person to comment gets it. Stripes or solids? Solids, okay. Let's do it, guy. Let's play this 4 ball and come into the 8. I like your shot. I watched that video, just the tips. If you look at this 4 ball through the 8, like this, there's a point on the back of the ball right here. If I can pot this ball and make my aiming point that point right here and pot the ball, my cue ball will hit the 8 perfectly. It's on Andrew Cleary's one of his videos. It's called the follow system, I think. It's pretty good. It's a good tip. And it's helped me. I've used it a few times now for safeties and other things, and it's pretty accurate. So let me try that. Try to hit the 8 ball full here using the follow system. But I'm actually not hitting top. I'm just hitting center ball, basically. Maybe a half a tip above center. Well, I didn't hit it exactly full, but we opened it up. We're okay. All right. Kind of funny on this 3 ball. We have a cut here, and my tangent line is coming like right here, which doesn't bring me anywhere really amazing, you know. So I don't know what I'm going to do here. I'm going to have to manipulate this 3 ball shot in order to get the cue ball somewhere useful. I hate playing side shots, but if I can get the cue ball to come down here, down this line, I could play for the 5 or the 1. If I play under the 5 this way, I'm scared of hitting this 12 and not leaving myself a shot. So I could play this 3 off the 10, get the 10 out of there, and then come down for this 5, this side of the 5. That could be something I could do. Gotta see this TV view. Shoot the 3 and then cue ball's hitting right before the side. Cue ball's sitting here. Why not? Let's try to come into this 7 ball here. And then we're coming into the left side of it, so, or if anything, we drift past it a little bit. Then we have the 5 into the middle. Or we could have the 1 if we hit the 7 nicely. Let's try that. Missed the 7. Missed the 7 and got around. Okay, well. Told you I was not liking that particular area, but it was kind of tricky. We had a lot of things that could have ended up happening okay there, and we kind of got away with it here. We have a 6 ball that we can run down, which I don't really like running balls past the side pocket. It kind of bugs me. I don't know, my aiming, if I can avoid that, I usually do. So I have the 2 ball here. Problem is with the 2 ball is I'm slightly cutting it back this way. So, and it's so straight that it'd be difficult that I'd be having to try to hold it here. There is a potential that I stun it here and hook myself on everything if I'm not careful. Probably for that reason the 6 is probably a better shot. But I don't like the 6. And if I put a little draw on this 2 ball, I can make sure that I'm coming into the 13 if I do hit anything. So here I'm going to just play nice and easy and get this 2 ball in. Draw back a little bit. Nice and easy. Ooh, we rattled it. You can see I got the cue ball moving so much there. That was terrible. You can see I overcut it. Okay. Now we sold out the farm with solids, so now we're on stripes. Doesn't look like the 14 will go. So I'm gonna have to develop that. And this 13 is actually pretty tough now, and also the 8 ball. So what do we do here? I don't mind playing the 13 into the middle here and coming underneath and trying to hit these balls with the cue ball. I don't mind that shot. It's a pretty go for it shot, but to me it's a game winner if you can pot this in and develop the 14-11. So I'm going to try that. So that worked out fairly well. Now we just have to think about what we're going to do with this 8 ball. And to me, the way the 8 ball sits, you got to play tight position here, right, for the 8. So the end pattern I see actually is saving my 10 and just rolling in my 14 and coming behind the 8 here. Or getting above this 14 and coming underneath here. Or even if I'm straight in on the 14, I could shoot the 8 up into that corner there. So for that reason, I'm going to save 10, 14, 8 for last, which means I have the 11, the 9, and the 12. So if my last, so now I'm going to go backwards, right? This is how, when I have a few balls left, I'm going to work backwards. So the 10 gets me to the 14. What gets me to the 10? Well, the 12 actually, if I get on this 12, it gets me to the 10 fairly easily. Well, how do I get to the 12? Well, if I'm straight in, if I had a ball in hand and I was straight in on this 9, I could roll down for the 12. So how do I get to the 9? Well, the answer is right in front of us, the 11. So I could play this a couple ways. I could play this for the 9 in the corner, or I could come up here and I could play for the 9 in the side and get my cue ball underneath that way. I like playing for corners. It's a little bit better. You got more room for error here, playing for the corner. If we play for the side, we're coming across that line, you know, this is the potting line. If we play for the side, we're coming across that line of position. It's really easy for us to, if we don't get nice on it, even if we get too thin, it's going to be hard for us to hold the cue ball. And if we go too far, now we got to go around the table to get back on the 12. So the smarter shot here is to try to play onto the 9 into the corner pocket. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So I'd like to be along this line, so I'm going to visualize a spot on this line I'd like to get to. Okay, that's where I want to be. Now, I'm going to look at my shot and I'm going to say, can I get the cue ball right here? Yeah, I think I can get pretty close. So visualize it, and then I'm going to do my pre-shot routine and I'm going to try to execute. Okay, I don't know how close I am, but it's pretty close. I'm almost straight in here. Now we know the drill. We got to roll this in. Well, now I'm going to look at this little triangle here that I make, and I want to be in this triangle. I want to be at least to here, right? At least to here to be able to make that. Which means I got to get the cue ball at least in line with this one ball. So that's what I'm visualizing now. I'm like, this is where I got to get my cue ball. So I'll put my tip of my cue there, and I'm like, this is where the cue ball has to get to. So now I'm looking at my shot, and I'm like, this is where I got to get the cue ball. And I'm visualizing, what do I need to do to get it there? I'm almost dead straight, so I got to play a follow shot. I got to play a high cue ball. And I'm visualizing the entire shot right now, the cue ball getting down there. Stand back, look at my potting angle. And now I step into the shot. I visualized it already, and now I'm just going to execute it. Oh, we overhit it. We overhit it. I'm going to blame that on getting used to my old cue. I was dead straight there, so the weight was essential. I didn't have much room to cheat. If I could have cheated the pocket and got it, like if I could have got a little angle this way on the ball, that would have been awesome. But I didn't do that, so now we're gonna play the solids here. I don't like where this 6 is, and the 7's got to go because it's blocking the 5 and 1. So I'm gonna play the 6 now. This is just how I do it. Play the 6, 7. 5, 1, 2, and around for the 8. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. How bad is this to watch? It's pretty horrible. So this is like an actual lower game. These are the kinds of things that happen, right? These are the kinds of things that happen in pool. So now this is difficult because now I'm stripes again, but now I'm not on my 12. So that means it's going to be hard for me because I got to get from my 10 to my 14, all the way back to the 12, and then on the 8. So for me, I mean, I know it's tough, but if I could get this 14 off the 2 and get the 2 out of the way, it would make my life a lot easier. That would definitely make life easier. But I mean, as long as I shoot the 14 last, I could try to get all the way back for this 12 and then back for the 14. Can't hurt to try, right? Now I got to try to get back for the 14. This is kind of crazy pattern. Oh, this is not good. This is not looking good here. We're not looking good here. Now, do you give up the run out here and leave the cue ball back there? Well, we know with our last game that a lot of the time players can play that little touch shot and they're going to hook you solid and you're kicking. And then you're kicking to get a hit, you know, and even if you do somehow make it, what are you going to do with the 8-ball? You know, so playing the safety here, it seems kind of smart, but it's really not, because you're just making life harder for yourself. The way I look at it here, you might as well go for this bank shot and try to get shape on the 8-ball. It's probably better odds of doing that than if I left my opponent frozen to the 2 here. They'd probably find an easy way to hook me, right? I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you play here? Do you play a hook behind the 2 here and freeze them to their own ball, or do you go for it here? Yeah, cue ball control sometimes. Love your new videos and stuff. And I really like that video you did where you talked about moving your body forward. I love that video. That was some great advice. I tried it. It works well. That was a great video, man. You should be proud of that video. That's some great advice there. I watch your videos, man, when they come out. Of course I do. I watch everybody's videos. Talking it through definitely does help, right? I'm sorry that I'm playing so poorly. When I play in a tournament, I play a lot better, but I find, and I'm not making excuses, but I find talking through what I'm going to do and then trying to execute it on live stream and everything, it is actually harder to do that than just going out to a tournament, keeping it all in your head and just executing what your game plan is. Explaining your game plan, explaining why you're doing the game plan, blah, 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 and then trying to execute it on live stream I've found it's very challenging, but it's working wonders on my patience, because I really am a momentum player and I like to get into a rhythm. And I find in competition where I fall short the most is when I'm sitting for a while and a player cools me off. I have trouble getting back in the zone. So doing these live streams and going through things slowly and being patient has actually helped that for me. It's helped me to be able to come back to the table and execute something that maybe I couldn't do before. So I'm going to go for a big shot here just because it's fun and we're on live stream. If I make it, I look like a hero. So this is going to be a bank corner. And I'm going to try to play shape on the 8, maybe into the same pocket. Oh, just shy. Okay, let's run this out for solids. This is a tricky shot I learned. 1, 2, 3, 4 rails out for the one ball. That's a great shot to know how to play. You can play that aggressively, and it works out a lot of the time. Not gonna lie, this cue hits a lot different than my J flowers, which I've gotten used to because I've been playing with it solid for a year. Okay, so although that wasn't a great run out or anything like that, and we haven't run out any tables yet, I hope there was some good information in that rack. And I know I learned a couple of things, and I hope you did too. So let's move on to rack number 3. That was rack 2 out of the way. Hopefully we could start playing a little bit better. Yeah, that 4-rail shape shot is actually amazing. Comes up quite a bit on a 7-foot. 9 foot 2, but you got to hit a lot harder, right? Well, not harder, but you got to hit it pure. Like, you got to let the cue ball go and trust that it's going to follow that path. All right, let's run out. Let's run it out. We need a run out here. I'm looking at solids first. Solids look okay. Not sure if I can spin that. You know, if I could get through here and spin that 3 ball, that would be amazing. I just don't know if I can get through that. In BCA, you can play, I believe, a striped solid combo, so I could do that. I could look at playing, well, I really like the low ball here, I'm not going to lie. And I really don't feel like I can get far enough back to see if this does go through. It looks like it might, but geez, is that ever tight? It's so tight, it's almost like I have to try it. Yeah, that's how tight it is. But in a tournament, would I try this? I think I would. I'm going to try to hit this full with spin. Spin the 3 in. Spin it in for the win. Oh! Couldn't quite see enough of it, but I did get through. Well, we didn't get our run out. We sold out though. So here's the rest of the run out. In case I do that. I'm going to try to use the 6 off the 12 here on purpose. Just open up that pocket a little bit. Right? I know I have the 1 and I have other balls to play, so I wanted to open it up so the 8 ball will now go in both pockets. Just play in the middle of these 3 balls and see what happens. And now I'm going to think of a pattern. Okay? So the 2 ball is actually the trickiest ball here. Because of where it's sitting. Well, if I get straight on the 4 or even close to, I should be able to shoot the 4 and get the 13 out of the way and pot the 2. The 2 will pot up here. And if I roll my cue ball through, I can pot this 2 ball and come off the cushion and out for the 7. So maybe that's the way we should play it. Just play for this 4 and see where we end up on it, and that's going to determine our pattern off the 2. Okay. So it looks like I'm going to be rolling forward with this. Don't think I rolled far enough. So now the 2 ball, it really is a problem. And really now I'm playing it last, so this is terrible. It's the worst case scenario. So I'm going to try to cheat the pocket here, play top, get the cue ball off here, back down here for the 2 ball into this corner where I just put my chalk. Okay, just straight top here. I got a cut on the 2. Not perfect, but I just need to pot this, and the 8 ball will go into the same pocket. Ooh, and we left it over the hole. Man, I'm really not playing strong pool tonight, but we get to play both sides of the rack, so that's okay. Now, this presents a problem. We've all been there. We're playing an opponent and they just rattled the ball and they just left us this table of stripes, right? Well, the problem is their ball is now blocking the 8, potentially the 8, the 14, and the 10. So what do you do here? Do you try to play underneath? Like you could play to this area. You got the 14 and the 10. Hopefully you can make the 10 up to the corner or something. You could play that follow shot where you put bottom on the cue ball and the object ball hits the ball and follows it in, and that frees up the pocket. A lot of the time you'll see players play that. Another thing you can do is you can break out balls, right? We can do that too. So we also have this ostracized 15 ball down here that would be nice to get rid of. We have safeties we can play, but it's not amazing to play a safety with the way people jump nowadays, and when you have a ball hanging over the corner, it's a pretty easy kick usually. And with the 8 ball on the same side as this ball, there's a good chance they kick it in. No matter where they kick it from, they might get a shot on the 8 ball and beat you. So another thing we can potentially do is shoot our ball and take over that pocket and leave our ball there and play and hook the person on the 8 ball. That's another thing that you can do. So I say, usually in this situation, try to think of a plan where if it goes perfectly, you can run out the entire table. And if it doesn't go perfectly, you can do one of those other options. You you can play a striped solid combo and play a safety on the 8 or something, right? So for me, I'm going to play this 12 ball. I'm going to look at this 10 ball. Does it go past the 8? It's really tight past the 8. It'll go into the side, and the 14 will go. So easy way to get to that position is to be here, playing top spin and go down here. Well, how do I get here? Well, I could get there off of this ball. I'm kind of putting all my eggs in one basket this way, but it's kind of not. I don't mind it. I don't really mind it that much. So I'm going to try to draw all the way back for this ball here. And then I'm going to try to get my position. Oh man, I got too much angle here. I was hoping to get kind of straighter in on it or just above here so that I could play for my angle to get down there. But now, I got a bit of a funny angle here. So now I'm just going to plot this in stun to the middle of the table. This is kind of plan B here. Look at my tangent line, you know. A lot of the time you're on plan G by the time you run out one of these racks, especially if you're an amateur like me. I'm a mid-level amateur. I'm not a 700 player or anything like that, so, you know, I'm like low 6s. I mean, here I'm going to play bottom. I'm going to try to play it through this window. It sounds insane, but that's the way I see the tangent line, so I'm going to go with it. I'm going to trust my gut on my ability to see the tangent line of the shot. Just a half a tip below center and to the left. I contacted that ball. That's not what I wanted. But we remember my other plan, right? I want to get up here and then roll this in and come back down for these two. So we could still achieve that. We could still achieve that from here. So let's try. Okay, I was worried I would hit the horn there. So now I'm on the wrong side of the 13. But I can still kind of get there, right? I can go around the table now. Try to come down into this area. Maybe behind here or through here. Let's look at our line and see. Okay, well, I imagine the cue ball here hitting this contact point, right? And where do I want to be? I want my cue ball to say touch here. So if I visualize those two lines, how does this work now? If I want to hit this rail here, if I look at my contact point here and I see my tangent line is hitting here, 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 here. It's looking pretty good to come underneath here. So let's try this. Hey, not bad. That wasn't too bad at all. I mean, this has been ugly, but sometimes it just takes hitting the right shot at the right time to get out in an 8-ball rack. Now this is a little tricky here because I'm close to the cushion, and if I want to stop on each one, I'm kind of jacked up, or I'm slow rolling it, right? So which one is better? I kind of like the side shot because I feel like if I can hold the side shot, I have more options to try to hold the cue ball for the 8 in the same corner. Where if I play this one, I don't think I can draw back, so I'm actually kind of tough to, well, I guess I could roll it. If I stop it there, I could roll it in the corner and come up here. For me, this is all personal preference and how comfortable you're feeling. For me, this is the shot I'll play here most times. I'm jacked up, I realize that. I'm playing it with like a little bit of bottom left to kind of throw it into the pocket and hold that cue ball as much as possible. Just a little pop. And I just hit the horns. But I did hold the cue ball where I wanted. This is an easy shot for to shoot the 2 and get to the 8. So let's just try that again. You know, pressure's on. I'm playing pretty lousy tonight. I got a different stick. Let's try it again. And I overcut that time. It's a touchy little shot. Only because I'm so close to the cushion. And maybe I'm gripping the cue too tight. Maybe I got to be a little looser with the grip. Let me try that. It's a little loose grip. There it is. Yeah, I just had to loosen up my grip a little bit there. I was kind of choking the cue a bit. And that's how we would get out from there. And then, you know, for low ball, it's pretty easy to just shoot that and come up for the 8 in the same, into this, right? Okay, that was another terrible rack. We had 3 for 3 on bad racks. I feel like we had a good chance to run that out though if we made our opener. I really do. Usually I get 1 run out of the 5 racks. So, and sometimes I get 2 if I'm playing all right. Today is not playing the best, but that's what's nice about this format is I get to talk through both sides. And I mean, that was one of those games where even in the pros, you watch those guys in the pros or the ladies in the pros, they'll shoot lights out. They'll run a rack, run out, and then they have like 1 or 2 games where it seems like they just can't make a ball, you know? They're giving it back. They each get 3 turns at the table, and so we've all been there. It happens to all of us. That's kind of what happened that game. Cue ball, you're playing a match tomorrow. I really like to thank you for tuning in. From what I see from your channel, you have an amazing knowledge base yourself. I've learned some stuff from you. Let me ask you this. What is it that you want to learn? What is it that you want to work on? What do you think is a weakness in your game? One of your biggest weaknesses, or your top 3 weaknesses. Put them in the comments, and I'll do one specifically for you and see if maybe I have some advice or knowledge that could help you for your match tomorrow. I would love to do that. If there's something that I know that could help you, I'd love to do that. Because I've been helped by you. I've learned some things from your channel, and I really appreciate your videos, and you know, I'd like to give back. So let me know in the comments. Think about it. I'm going to go through this rack, and then after this rack, we'll address one of your topics, one of the things that you think you really want to improve. Okay. Rack number 4. Too much top on the break shot, but it was that top spin that ended up getting us a ball. Go figure. Okay, right away I see the 6 ball that's kind of tied up. I don't think I can make it. But I do have an opener on the stripes of 13, and that lies pretty natural to break out this cluster. I'm going to spend a little less time on this one and a little more time shooting, because I really want to run out a table. So I feel like the key to run out this table is this first shot right here. And what I'm thinking about right now is, how am I hitting this 12? Where is the cue ball going? Where is the 12 ball going? And what is the worst case scenario? Worst case scenario is always missing, but if I make this shot, or when I make this shot, I gotta think positive. Where's my cue ball going? The natural tangent is going to here, but with a little forward roll, it looks like it's hitting the left side of the 12, kicking this 6 ball over to the cushion here, and the cue ball kisses off that, and I should play it with top, and I should come back up. That would be the best way to play it, I think. Let me look at it. Yeah, I think that's the play. Okay, well, not exactly what I planned. It hit a little fuller than I thought. But we did break it out. It does go into the center. So let's play for that right now, if we can. We're going to roll this in pocket weight and try to hold the cue ball right here for this 12. Because this 12 is made a lot easier if you're nice and straight in on it. All right? So right now I'm going to look at where I need to be. And I'm going to say, can I get there? Can I pot this and get there? Or is it too much of a cut? It's going to be tough. I might actually end up here, but I'm going to try for it. Just pocket weight. Came a little bit far. A little bit heavy there. Thing is, I'm naturally coming into the 6 ball here, so I'm going to go for the pot. Okay. Now, from what I see, I got, I'm going to come to the middle of the table, and I got the 9 or the 14, either or. Just play for the middle. I played for both, and I have both. So now I'm going to see what's the better one to play here. I think playing the 9 is easier than playing the 14 and trying to get out of there. But right now I'm going to look and see if this 8 ball goes by the 6 into here, because what I'm thinking is I shoot this 9 and I come up this way towards the 1 ball. Then I shoot this and naturally come underneath 2 rails towards the 8 ball. And I like that pattern. Got to play a little bit of left spin here to get on this. And if we get straight, we got other options, right? We're straight in, so now we're going to try to draw towards the 8 ball here. The danger is getting behind this 1 ball here. So that's a danger. We got to make sure we're staying away from that 1 ball. We did manage to stay away from it, so we're going to play the 8 ball into the corner pocket. Hopefully get our first run out here. Yes! Finally! And that was rack number 4. our breakouts didn't come out as we wanted. You know, if we came down to the last few balls and we needed those to work, that would have been a problem. And that's why, for that particular reason, that's why it's important to break them out early, in my opinion. If you're planning on running out, you want to deal with those problems as soon as you can. But if you see a tough table, like I know Q-Ball was talking to me about my 2-shot games. If you see a tough table, the way to do it in a lower division where you play a lot of safety play is to establish, in your first shot, establish what you want to be, stripes or solids, and on the very next shot you want to develop something and play safe at the same shot. That's your golden. That's how you keep control of the table, develop the balls, and then finish it out from there. Okay, I'm going to see what you have to say here. Okay. Practice room, what's up? Yeah, Q-Ball seems like he's a pretty good player. I don't know what kind of advice I have for him, but... No, thank you for popping in, Practice Room. I'm pretty sure I subscribe to your channel. If I don't, I'll make sure that I do. Q-Ball. I'm going to address these things for you here. I'm going to address your list. All right? Your list is thinking a rack through. Okay? My advice for thinking a rack through, if it's a difficult rack, you're on your own. You gotta work through what works best for you. But if it's an open table, no balls are in the way, everything goes, then I want you to start doing that backwards technique, working the rack backwards, right? Like I said. The easiest way to show that is with the easiest example ever, which is it's a good example here. A good example is this table right here. Okay? Now this is the best example I can show you for running out. Okay? This is the best thing that I can show you for planning a rack. And like I said, when the table is tough, either establish stripes or solids, and on your next shot develop and play safe. Or if the table is open, that's the advice I'm going to give you here. If the table is open, I want you to work backwards. And this is the best pattern to explain what I mean by working it backwards. You got this 8-ball. What would be the best shot to shoot before the 8? Well, if I had a ball in hand here, I'd stop and shoot the 8-ball. Well, what's the best shot to get to that? Well, if I had a ball in hand here, I shoot this in, and I got ball in hand, I got stop shot, 8-ball, right? Well, how do I get to a stop shot on that? Well, I tell you what, if I had a stop shot here, I could stop shot this, stop shot that, stop shot here, and stop shot the 8. Okay, how do I get to a stop shot there? These are a little bit out here. Okay, well, if I was a stop shot on this 9, that would give me the stop shot here, 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 and then here. Well, how do I get a stop shot on the 9? With the 10. So now this is the easiest example to show you, but now I know exactly what I'm going to do. All the way through. Right? And this is my best advice for planning a rack. I hope that made sense. That's issue number 1. And you're an established player from what I understand, so you probably already knew that, but that's a good thing to do. What's the next thing? Yeah, the Tom Cruise run out. Okay, what's the next issue? The next issue you said is you have a poor mental game. So do I. I'm like a god here in my practice room. And then I go out to tournaments. And sometimes I play well, and other times I get into a negative mindset and down the toilet, as Niels Fain would say. And I mention Niels Fain because he has a mental training course. It's like 500 US or something. So it's not cheap. But I tell you what, it's the greatest course I've ever taken for mental game in my life. And I took it a year ago, and I'm starting to see the benefits of it. There's so much good information in that course that I continually go back to it, and I'm continually learning from that same information. There's just so much information in his course, you can learn from it for like 2 or 3 years. And so when I look at investing in my game for mental game, I don't think there's a better investment you can make than going to Niels Fain and buying his mental training course for competitive pool players. And if you private message him and see when he's going to have a special, he will respond to you. Message him on his Facebook page, tell him I sent you, say you want to know when he's doing his next special. And he usually throws discounts, Easter time, different discounts, Good Friday, Black Friday, he did one for 20% off. So hit him up and just ask him, say, hey man, when are you going to do your sale again? Because I think I'm going to get the course. And he'll let you know. So that's my advice for mental game. All right. Yeah, mental games for free. Well, nothing's free in life, man. It sucks, but you know, these pool players got to make money somehow too. It's not really like the highest paid sport. I mean, golfers get fucking $1 million for showing up. You know, pool players got to finish in the top 10 all year against the best players in the world to make $100 grand. So, you know, we got to support these guys. And ladies, you know, we got to support their events. We got to support their channels, their products, and get coaching from good pro players when you can. You know, if you like pool and you're as passionate about it as I am, and you're a pool fan and you're obsessed, I'm obsessed with pool. Give back to the community, give back to these players, and I think you're gonna get your money's worth. What else? Tangent line awareness. Rolling ball versus follow versus soft follow, soft touch shots. Okay. Andrew Cleary on his channel, Just the Tips, did a video called the follow system. Cue ball. Go to Just the Tips channel. Check out his video on the follow system. You'll like that. That's a great video. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but give that a go on that. And I'll give you an example of the follow system and basic tangent line. Okay, my lesson on tangent line is always this. Right? Tangent line is going through there. But if I hit this ball, just roll it, I'm going to hit that bottom ball. Right? And here again, the tangent line, when I look at it, it's going through there. But if I play this with bottom, I'm touching that top ball. So for me, it's important to remember that in order to hit a tangent line, in order to hit a shot properly, the ball can't have any spin on it when it hits the contact point. It can't have any spin. It's got to be a stop shot, basically. So when you're doing a stop shot, like, okay, when we do a stop shot like this, right, we're close. We don't have to hit as low, right? We could just hit center ball and stop it. But if we're playing a stop shot from a distance, right, slowly, we got to time that spin, that sliding motion where it slides before it rolls forwards. We have to time that in order to hit that stop shot, right? So, like this one, if you want to hit this one soft, you're going to have to time that spin so that it'll stop. Right? Well, you have to do the same thing with your tangent line. So if you want to go through that window, you have to achieve a stop shot here on this shot. See that? I timed it so that I could hit that window. When I contacted that, it was a stop shot. So because I hit the stop shot, then it's going to follow the perfect tangent line that you visualize. That's a tip on tangents. Also, now if it's a little bit behind and the tangent looks like it's hitting this, well, now I know if I play some top on that, I might be able to thread the needle here because I'm going ahead of the tangent line. See that? That was ahead of the tangent line. But I know that with this one, the tangent line is coming into this ball right here. So I have to pull away from that tangent line to thread the needle. This is a tougher one. But I got to get just the right amount of bottom to get through. Just like that. So that's an example of tangent lines and tangent line usage. In order to get that cue ball to travel down that tangent line here, how many times have we done this? We scratch, right? You know, you look at the tangent line, it's not a scratch. So you're like, oh yeah, that's not a scratch. And then you shoot it, and you scratch. Because the natural roll of the ball gives you that scratch. I don't have my cue ball now. So now I got to play it just in that window right there, which is pretty tight window, say. Let's say, for example, I have to come back here for the 8-ball. And and there are a bunch of balls. There are a bunch of balls in the way. Right? There are a bunch of solids. There are a bunch of solids in my path. So now I have to hit this tangent line. Otherwise I'm in trouble. So I need to achieve a stop shot on this ball then in order to get my tangent line. Right? It's got to stop when it hits the contact point in order to get there. So here I just play like a stop shot. And that one even I got a little bit too much. I got a little too much roll on it. It wasn't quite a stop shot. Here's the stop shot. Try it again. And that one I got too much bottom, see? So it's touchy. It's a touchy shot. Play that tangent line right through there. Let's make it a little easier. Stop shot at this distance is just a half tip below center. There we go. Right? And we were able to hit that spot. Make the 8. So I don't know. I'm not the best teacher, but I hope that kind of made a little sense with what I do with the tangent line. And to me, to hit the tangent line well, it's got to be a stop shot on an angle. I hope that makes sense. No, I don't do it enough. Okay, well, yeah. Yeah, we've all been there, man. We've all been there. And did you ask anything else? I think that was pretty much it. Oh yeah, the soft touch follow, the follow shots. Check out that video from Andrew Cleary, just the tips follow system. It's a great little system and it works really well. Okay, game number 5. We did a run out, so I'll make you guys a deal. If I run out this table, we'll do game number 6. And if I run out game number 6, we'll do game number 7. See how many runouts we can get. And let's say this: doesn't matter if I make a ball or not. Dry break's okay. We're gonna count runouts just off the break, whether we make a ball or not. Okay? Deal? Would be nice if we made a ball, but I just want to play it that way and see if we can figure out these tables. We're going for wide open tables here, so we're going for an aggressive break, wide open. Controlling the cue ball. I gotta work on my break anyway, so let's try rack number 5. Okay, it's dry, but like I said, if we run this out, we'll play another one. All right. Looking at low ball here. High ball's kind of touchy with this 9. I don't think it'll go, so. But low ball, the trickiest ball is that 3 ball. Right? So if we can get on that 3, then I think we can get out. So I think the key to getting out is getting on this 3-ball. So like I said, cue ball, when I'm thinking about running out, I want to attack that tough thing first. For me, the toughest thing is this 3. The reason why the 3 is tougher than the 8 is because I feel like naturally you shoot the 2 last and hit the 9 and you got a dead end shot on the 8. Right? Or you shoot the 2 and move the 9 and then you play the 7 and come up for the 6 and then play the 8. Right? That's a good way to do it. Probably a smarter way to do it. So what I see is I got to play this window on the 3 first. And ultimately, I'd like to be in such a way where I can come out for this 4-ball, because the 4-ball is kind of touchy too. So right now, I'm actually thinking 5 to the 3 to the 4, and then play the 1 around, get me down into this area, and then play boom, 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 8-ball. That's how I see it. So, playing top, I'm coming to about here. So, I'd like to come to level with the 3-ball. About a ball's width away from the end cushion would be good. Or we can contact the side cushion and bounce off. But let's see. Let's try to play, I'm going to try to play 1 ball width away from the side cushion. Doesn't look like I got there. I hit a little light. Alright, well we have other plans, right? Now we're on plan B. Plan B, we can get on this 4-ball. We try off the 1 now to get onto the 3 and the 4. Right? We got the 3 and the 4 if we land right here. So, I'm looking at this spot, and I'm looking at my 1 ball, and I'm looking at my tangent and saying, can I get here? Yeah, I think I can. So, I'm going to try to get there. So, little bottom right. Big bounce. I don't know if I have the 3, but I think so. I think I'm just nice on the 3-ball here. I am. I also have the 4 in the middle, but I have a perfect angle here on the 3 to just pop out by the 15. So I'm going to just do that. Don't want to overthink here. Don't want to overthink it. Okay, now I wanted to play the 6 or the 2 first, but I got to get this 4 out of here, and I'm going to draw back into the 15 here, just to make sure I don't hook myself. That's good. Now it looks like we're going to be playing this touchy 2-ball last, right? So we want to, this is a key ball. We want to come up for the 6 here. I want to come up for the 6 and draw back and then play the 2. And, you know, it's probably not the smartest way to do it. Ultimately, I would have loved to play the 2, knock away the 9, and then play the 7 and come back for the 6. But this is where we're at. So I want to get almost straight in on this 6 if I can. Right here. I want to be right here. So now I'm visualizing what I need to do to get there, and that's what I'm playing for. Doesn't look like I got there. I'm a little light here. I'm a little light. So now I'm going to have to draw this away from the 6 quickly to give myself the angle to shoot the 6 and come into the 9. This is a touchy shot. A lot of spin, a lot of trust, a lot of finesse. I think we're doing okay here. Got a good angle here. Now, we're going to use the Andrew Cleary follow system right here. We're going to look at this ball through the 6. Where do I want to hit this? And I'm actually looking through the middle of the 6 ball to here. And this point on the back side of the 6, that's where I'm aiming my cue ball to. That point, the center of my cue ball to that center point. To pot this ball, and the cue ball comes and hits this 9 ball full. Believe me? Sounds crazy. But that's how you can visualize it. You can do it backwards too. You look at the shot line where you're potting the ball, and you look at the back of the ball where the center of your cue ball is touching on the object ball, and you can see it's actually hitting this area of the 9 here. So I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm going to try to just do this here. And I kind of played a little bottom on it. I didn't mean to. I should have just played center, but I did get away with it. I got a cut here. Big stretch, but looked like we were going to run that out. We didn't run it out. So that's it for tonight, it looks like. But let's try to finish off this rack. Just wanted to deal with my problem right away by breaking out those. Was kind of scary though, because I could have hooked myself there and frozen to that 14. So that might not have been the smartest. And here again, here's our shot. We're looking at the tangent. I don't have too much top, but I do need just a little slight roll to avoid this 10 ball. So I know that now, and I'm going to hit this with just a rolling ball. See how I missed it there? Using my tangent line. I don't think the 13 goes past the 8. It might, so I'm going to try to play on my 10 ball and underneath for the, this is the 11. So I'm going to play for the 10 ball underneath for the 11, then the 8. So I'm going to do that routine, right? Cue ball, I'm going to go through it backwards. I'm going to say, where do I want to be on this 10 ball? Well, I'd like to be down this line right here. It's almost a stop shot on this ball, right? But I don't want to be this far away. I'd like to be a lot closer. So I want to be on this line, but I'd like to be a little closer. So I'd like to play that tangent towards this. So I'd like to be here and play that tangent line and try to get as close to the 10 as I can. So that's what I'm going to plan for here. And I'm looking at the stop shot. The stop shot leaves me like too much angle. It actually, the stop shot, if I do stop it and I don't draw back enough, I have a backup shot. I could actually play under the 10 and somewhat behind the 11. But that's not what I'm going for. But I know I have to draw it back just slightly to get that angle I want on the 14. Okay, well, I drew way too much. So now I have a top. I'm going to play top to get there. And again, this is the Andrew Cleary follow rule. When I'm potting this, my cue ball center point is actually touching here. And here goes straight to the rail if I drew a line. So if I play this with top, it should go almost straight. Okay? And if you want to get better follow on your shots, Try bending your knees. Deep bend. Okay, this isn't a bad line. I did get a little bit of inside spin on that shot. This isn't a bad line here. It's pretty natural. Looking at the tangent line, and I'm going to play a little bit of spin to get myself on the cushion, side cushion. Right? There we go. I wanted to be right on the cushion because I want to be giving myself the right angle to get over for this 8-ball. Right? Same thing works for the bottom system. If I look at this, where this potting angle is, if I draw a line straight back, that's where I can draw to. So I could draw right to here if I wanted, right? But there is a slight pause with the cue ball. So usually the cue ball will slide a little before it grabs. But I could easily, potentially, I could draw it right where my cue, right where my chalk is right now. Actually, right about here. I could draw it right to there with a good cue. See that? Pretty close. Pretty close. And then we just got the 8-ball. Oh, I guess the ball did fit in there. Anyway, thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Sorry the quality of shooting wasn't wasn't the bomb tonight. But I just want to thank everybody for coming out and checking out my channel. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, yada yada yada. But if it's not something that you like, if it's not content that you're learning from or you are entertained by, I don't expect you to subscribe. I don't care either way, to be honest. I do this channel to try to improve myself and to help the people that try to help me improve. And I'm trying to create a community, and I say it every time, trying to create a community of players, almost like a Reddit, where, or a group where, we're all trying to improve together. I'm just an amateur player. I'm a 625 Fargo, so I'm like just slightly above average. Pros are in the 760s or whatever, they're way up there. I'm like at 620, most days I'd probably shoot like a 600. Anyway, trying to get better, I'm trying to improve. So if you guys see things that I can improve on, or you have tips and tricks that are going to help me when I'm trying to do this show, I want to hear them, man. I want to learn, I want to improve. And vice versa. If I have something that I think might be able to help you or help someone that watches this video, I'm going to put it out there. I'm not holding information for myself, or I'm not that kind of person. So I really do appreciate the support, and I'd like to thank everybody for coming, and have yourselves a great Saturday night. Take care. Till next time.